cows starting today. Get this group up that will go through worm them this morning. Check who needs it. I think as dry as it is, there wouldn't be a worm problem, but there always is. Don't let your guard down. Hey guys, so we wormed these yesterday. Sorry I didn't get any video. You've got videos of me. Well, this guy's worming quite a few videos doing that. So we were really busy and I didn't stop to take a video, but what we did, we wormed every lamb and kid. I'll tell you the truth, sometimes I don't feel like the FOMACHA, looking at the eyelid like that, is very accurate. Or maybe there's other worms that strike these little lambs and kids. So we wormed all of those, and we wormed any the ewes that were in poor body condition. Some of those, may have had twins on them or something, and they're still in here. They haven't been weaned yet. Our forage situation just is better for these to stay here than to go somewhere else right now. And so after we did that, we ran them back up here, across from where the cows were. If you remember, you remember that tree the cows were at there that day, and they were on the other side. Well, so we've got a three electric wire there that's divides these paddocks in here, and that group there is up against that wire, and this side hasn't been grazed for probably 45 days, maybe 60 days actually. I could have looked, I guess. I want to, reiterate that when we worm these, and even though we did more like a mass worming, I guess you might say, although you want to leave at least 20% or more for refuge. That means, so those worms get pooped out. Well, now if you've wormed with your 3 wormers that we always use, and there's still a few live worms in there, and they're going to come out here, and then they're going to grow and be eaten by these animals again. But then there's going to be some that we didn't worm that may not be resistant, you see, to those wormers, and they're going to breed after they're consumed by these sheep and goats. They'll lay eggs, breed, and then hopefully they'll still be resistant, you see. So it's just not a good idea. It's not a good practice to worm 100%. Everybody turn them out. Even when you're using 3 wormers, you're going to run into wormer resistance much quicker, whether it's a year or 2 years, or so. I don't know, but right now we don't have anything else to go to. So you've got the prohibit. Then you've got the family has cydectin and ivomec in it. That's the same family. And you've got the white wormers, valbazin, safeguard, albendazole. Those are kind of all the same family too. They're not the same wormer, but they are the same family. And if they're resistant to one of in that family, they're probably going to be resistant to all of them. So when you're using 3, use 3 different families. Now, as far as I know, prohibit is the only one in the prohibit family, or the tramadol family, I guess you might say. It used to be called tramadol. Now, we've got soybeans on the other side of this fence row, and you see the 2-wire steel wire fence back there behind it. Well, we put up this other polywire fence in front of it, basically because when you got very many animals and you're trying to get better utilization of this paddock, well, they're gonna want to move before you want them to move to another paddock, you see. And where they're going to want to move is across there into those soybeans. So in anticipation of that, we put this other fence in front of it right now. And we'll see how that works. But now if this was a bigger pasture, you know, and we were just letting them graze, just, you know, wherever they wanted to go, you wouldn't need that, more than likely. If they had plenty of forage. See, that's the whole key. If they have plenty of forage, like here for a few days, they probably won't even look across the fence. But we want them to stay on there probably for more than a couple of days. We want them to utilize more of that older fescue or some of the forage that maybe they don't like as well. And that's where you're going to run into issues of them getting out, just using that 2-wire electric fence, or even a 3, 4, sometimes a 5-wire. They'll do. It's just all in how much they have to eat, how well they like it. You can come out here and say, oh, they got a lot to eat. But I'll tell you what, if they don't like it, they're going to look on the other side of the fence. So now if you've got a bigger pasture, they're not going to be up against the fence that often. But once they get out, then they're going to be hard to contain unless they've got plenty to eat, see? Because if they don't have, they're not satisfied, yeah, they're not going to want to stay in there very bad. So here, this is probably, I don't know, 5, 6 acres. And I don't know, there's a couple hundred ewes, probably 300 lambs and kids together. So they're going to be okay here for a couple of days, 3 days or so, and then they're going to start looking on their side of the fence, and that's when you'll have trouble. See, because if we had plenty of forage, we would just move them by then. But it's drier here, and so we're rotating slower, and that's where you're running into trouble as far as keeping livestock in. And I mean, that still goes for cows, just about anything. When they get ate down where they don't like what's left, and it don't matter if it's shoulder high, they're going to look for something else. See? So hey, I'm going to check a few things and go do something else. You have a good day.